In this video, we will see how we can create tables inside our database. When the database is created, using phpMyAdmin panel, we can access the structure of our data server and select the necessary database to work with. When the database is selected, and if still this database doesn't have any tables, we have the only options to create new table, and to do it we have to define the table name, define the number of columns. We can select less, and in the future we can extend the number of columns in our data set, and finally press go to create the table. I will name the table users. I will use at the beginning 4 columns, and I will select go to create the table. When the structure is defined, we have to name columns, select the data type for each column, and to identify where will be the index column. First of all, about the names. For the names, we can use only English alphabet to define the name. We are not able to use spaces or special symbols. For example, I will have first name, I will have last name, and I will have email as a column name. Each table should have unique column or index column to speed up processes that are linked to entering new values and looking for values inside the tables. For this purpose, we are using ID column if we don't have any other columns where records are unique. And our task is to identify that this is unique or index table. We can do it also using auto increment option that will help us to automatically add numbers inside these columns and follow that these numbers are unique. I will select auto increment option, identify that I will use primary index for this, and the column is created. The next is to select data type. If for numbers integer is a normal data type that contains numbers, we have to select data types for other columns. If our columns contains only text and we are not able to provide mathematical processes with this column, we select text as a data type for this text. In case we can provide mathematical calculation with the data that are located inside our column, we should select number based on either it is integer for real numbers or float for decimal numbers. In my case, name, this is text, last name also a text, and email also a text. We can also use length to minimize the size of the database. If the length is not defined, the size for each column, for each record inside the column, will be 255 characters. If we define, we can minimize the size of our database that can save basically storage place in the future. In this task, I will define only limitation for email, for example, 100 characters for email address. When the save button is pressed, the table is created and we can work either with the structure of the table or we can browse the table for the data. This table still is empty. I can see that pressing browse button, I don't have any records. In structure, I can operate with existing structure. I can change the name of the columns. I can delete the column, or I can also add new columns, putting this column in the specific place inside the database. For example, I will add one additional column with the name phone. Basically, I will store the phone number. I know that with the phone numbers, I'm not able to provide any mathematical calculations. That's why I will select text for data type and pressing save button. I can see that inside the structure, I have new column placed.